Pregame thoughts here. Padres and the Dodgers. It is not the series finale. It is game 3 of 4 in this series. It's a weird wraparound series. Monday is going to be the series finale. Tomorrow afternoon, Seth Lugo will be on the mound for that game. Rich Hill on the mound today for the Padres. This pregame thoughts, it's out kind of late, but that's because the Padres lineup just came out. I've been waiting for the Padres lineup to come out to do this because a big question mark here was Manny Machado's status. Was he going to be in the lineup? That's what Bob Melvin was waiting for to release this lineup. Manny dealing with that hamstring issue from last night when he was running the bases. And I guess Manny said that he was fine last night, but it doesn't seem like he's fine. If they had to wait this long, there's a couple hours now till first pitch. Usually the lineup's out 3 hours before, maybe even earlier than that sometimes. They had to wait here, so I assume Manny has been getting treatment all morning long. Probably got some treatment last night as well, and he's DHing. So I don't know if we should expect him to be looking 100% and going and sprinting down the line on balls. Maybe like late in the game if the situation really calls for it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Manny's just in there for the potential for him to drive one in the gap or hit one over the wall like he did obviously yesterday in a gap. Come up with a huge hit with runners in scoring position, right? If Kim, Tatis, Soto, someone in front of him can get on base. But I think it's a smart thing to do, right? Like there's urgency that is needed here. Padres need to win games. But you're not putting him at third base after clearly last night he was hobbling and wasn't great, right? So, finding that medium there. I'm liking what the Padres are doing there. So Kim's leading off. He's playing third in place of Manny, obviously. Tatis, he is going to be playing right field, batting second. Soto's in left. Manny DHing. Bogarts is hitting fifth. Crony's playing second base, batting sixth. So G-Man Choi, he's going to go play first base today because everyone had to shift because Manny's not playing third. Gary Sanchez, he's going to be catching for Rich Hill today. And then Trent Grisham, he's going to be batting ninth, playing center. With Rich Hill, my Underdog Fantasy pick, I'm going to go lower on the pitch count. I believe it's 91.5. That's not a lot of pitches, but it is Rich Hill. I was going back on his game logs this season, and he isn't someone that gets close to 100 pitches, right? Like, he's someone that's going to work, maybe get through 5, work into the 5th inning. He's going to give it his all, but you do got to remember his age and all that. Like, I don't think the Pirates, obviously, before he came to the Padres, they probably didn't want him facing the lineup 3 times around because he's not someone that's relying on velocity. And so those hitters are going to adjust to Rich Hill. And so what should we expect out of Rich Hill today? I think we should expect him to give it his all. He always does, and he's someone that is a real competitor. That's part of the reason why he's still being able to pitch at the big league level. I'm expecting 5 innings out of Rich Hill today. And if he can do that, and the Padres are still in this game, I'll clap for him, and you hand it off to the bullpen. I would expect Nick Martinez not to pitch today. He pitched yesterday, and I think they're trying to line him up to start Tuesday, be the opener there in that Mariners game. The good news, though, is that Pedro Avila, he has not pitched in a while, so you could see Pedro Avila come in after Rich Hill. If Rich Hill can only work into the 5th inning, maybe they want Avila there. But Steven Wilson should be good to go. Cosgrove, Barlow, Suarez, and Hader. Hader has not pitched since August 1st, the day of the deadline. So he should definitely be pitching today and tomorrow if the situation obviously calls for it. And Robert Suarez, rough night on Friday night. We know Bob Melvin has confidence in him, so he's probably going to want to throw Robert Suarez back out there today. So if it's tied, maybe they're down by a run and it's late, maybe you see Suarez in that situation as well. Maybe it's not like the Padres have to have a lead for Suarez to come in. I feel like Bob Melvin, he wants to get that confidence back in Robert Suarez if Suarez might be lacking a little bit off of that last outing. So it's going to be interesting. Sunday Night Baseball, so it's on ESPN. There's also the A-Rod and Michael Kay alternate broadcast on ESPN2. Some guests I did see on there, Brad Paisley, David Wells, Tony Gwynn Jr., Joel Sherman. I might be missing another, but those are some of the guests. So you can go watch that one if you don't want to listen to David Cohn, Eduardo Perez, Carl Ravage, and Buster Olney. But those are the two broadcasts. That's that. So post-game reaction coming up after the game. I'm not going to do a show tonight because it's not the end of the series. I did a live show last night, so you can check that out on YouTube and on the podcast platforms, talking about Joe Musgrove, him being shut down, and the first two games of this Padres-Dodgers series. Then when I come home from tomorrow's game, I will do a live show there, recapping the entire series, reacting to the last two games of this series, anything that happens, and then obviously setting up the next series for the Padres.